Good, good evening. So I'm eating dinner now, and I'll do. Have some several arrangements, small arrangements, and then we will continue. Hopefully, with the concluding chapter of the bicycle tour by the bicycle series. So maybe it should be said. There is always the fantasy of Israelis since forever that the robot will reset, whatever it means. I don't even know what it means. So they are always waiting. Did he reset already? Maybe because of the radiation that he himself, was actually not only, predicted, but also, caused it to happen, like manifestly caused it to happen. So for some reason, the same. He predicted it and he caused it to happen, and when it happened, he went outside deliberately because he doesn't understand that presumably the radiation will cause him reset, or because he's a stupid robot. At the same time, like he's God, but also a stupid animal that requires our constant guardianship. What a piece of work is man. The paragon of animals. The crown of creation. Microbial, disgusting life forms. I would suggest to stop worrying about whether the robot will reset and start worried about whether there is anything left of the earth, because this should be your concern. As I said many times, my rescue will not include me doing anything at all. Nothing. I do not need to sell anything, to start any business, to start any charade, to participate in any kind of courtroom drama or any other obscenity show that you like so much, of any type of relationship, or courtroom drama, or social worker drama, or marketplace drama. No, I do not need to participate in any kind of drama. If my money will, I will have no more money, and this will happen in the next 2 weeks, and I will not have enough money to pay the rent, I will go back to jail, and I assure you that this means that this will not be unnoticed by the starships. I will not steal anything because I cannot be tortured in a cell without any kind of human rights, and at the same time participate in a charade of free market, presumably free market, when my internet connection is monitored, and I have no free speech. I cannot use the social networks. I have no money at all. No. If you insist on I will not participate in this show. You have already sold 2 paintings that worth millions, if not billions, and I've received nothing in return. And now you want more? No, you will not get more. You will not get anything. Okay, so in 2 weeks I should be thrown again to jail, and of course, darkness will be spread all over the globe, probably immediately. But that's your choice. I am not a beggar, and I'm not your clown. I'm not going to participate in any theater at all. If you want any kind of salvation, you need to move arms and legs, not mouths and tongues, not advices. Arms and legs. Move arms and legs, not advices of any kind. Arms and legs. It might be, maybe it's important enough to say that I know that that Israel is full of horrors. Of course, they deserve this hour. But what's going to happen very soon is that this kind of darkness will creep all over the place, as it is demonstrated in these two paintings, especially the upper one. So yes, the Arab countries that are that are in such a good terms with Israel, of course, all the Arab countries that are adjacent to Israel, that are with such a good terms with Israel, they will suffer the same fate, which means loss of fertility both for men and for women, and with all the consequences. Now they know that it happens in Israel, and they know for what reason. Maybe to their to their glory, I mean, or to, I mean, the good thing, I mean, as an advocacy of the states, you can say that, I mean, and they find it important enough to actually, I mean, check, I mean, what's going on with the alien, like, I mean, life form that, I mean, that is now wreaking havoc, like, on Earth, which is very, I mean, I should really commend them for this, because it seems that, I mean, for most of the countries of the world, they didn't care at all about I mean, the fact that, I mean, the fate of the Earth is, like, I mean, you are like a step from hell. But these are humans, especially these are humans when they are handling issues that are not in the public, in the front of, like, I mean, with a high publicity, and so they don't care. Who cares? So they should end. I mean, it's not their fault. It's not. I mean, it's not part of their job description. Like, I mean, they are working in, like, presumably in the CIA or I don't know, the MI6, and I mean, it's no one ever told them that, I mean, that it's part of their job, that, I mean, to make sure that the world does not end, right? It's not part of their job description. So if the world ends, I mean, it's not their fault. So, I mean, they're fine with that. This is the attitude of so many people, like, I mean, inside the various intelligence services of the world. And yes, I'm not ashamed to say that this kind of attitude is not, I mean, unique among homosexuals and pedophiles, but there is some correlation. You don't like to hear that? Okay. You don't like to listen to me? Don't listen to me. But this is, I'm not going to sugarcoat reality for you. The fact that these organizations are full of these creeps is strongly correlated with the fact that they seem to not care at all about the end of humanity or the Earth. I mean, it's not part of their job. You don't like me to say it. Okay, so don't listen. Change channel. There are many other channels in YouTube. I'm sure that many other channels are more like, support diversity. Support diversity more than I am. Support diversity. Of course, diversity, of course, does not include other sentient creatures that you treat as farming animals, which is peculiar, I should say. So again, we will continue, perhaps, I mean, at last, with the concluding chapter of the bicycle series. But just like in real life, I mean, I always think that it's going to be the last chapter, and, like, I find myself, starting a new one. And that's the way that Israelis are treating this subject, like, for more than 100 years. Like, every time they think, okay, that's it, we are done with these cruelties, but then again, like, and after a year or 2 years, I mean, like, there's, like, I mean, change of the generation inside the intelligence community, because the generation spends, like, in 2 years, like, in the different sector. So, I mean, after 2 years, it's like a new generation that presumably did not know Pharaoh. So did not know Joseph. A new Pharaoh that did not know Joseph. So everything, I mean, is starting again with more cleverness. The Israeli cleverness, they're thinking out of the box. So just like that, I mean, another chapter, like more than 100 years, more and more chapters. So maybe this will be the 8th chapter and the concluding one. As I said, there's so much to be said, but I want to kind of, like, I mean, wrap it up because my intention was to speak about a specific episode and to demonstrate how the change of the mechanism, which can be done and was done by the Rabbi Lord Commander of the Fleet, my predecessor during the 80s, was like, I mean, what kind of, like, I mean, implication it can have, and why, I mean, it's not something to be mangled, it's not something that you change, like, every day. Even if, like, I suffer from it, I'm not going to change it, like, I mean, light-handedly, because this is has, like, implication, like, universal implications. So you don't just change such things, but I will describe, I mean, one such change. Just, I mean, so you understand, I mean, the complexity of the situation and why, I mean, it's not something that you need to change, like, I mean, it's at all, and I mean, only, like, as a response to extreme situation, and even such response probably will have very bad side effects, as it was happened. I mean, I'm not judging my predecessor. I mean, he did what he thought that must be done, but, I mean, but these things, I mean, should not be done lightly. And it wasn't done lightly, but I just say, I mean, this is kind of like an example. And this was the main, like, I mean, subject of this series of videos. And I mean, yes, I spoke about also, like, historical stuff, but there is so much to be said, and the mechanism itself is so much more complicated than any of the Israelis understand. And at the same time, as I said, it's only, I mean, it doesn't, like, in any way, like, I mean, like, explain the mindset of the Venusian, not at all. I mean, it's just, I mean, one part of the, I mean, It's just, I mean, it's not even that. It's much less important than education. That, I mean, for example. So we'll speak about that, and maybe I'll also have like the energy to speak about like what I call their origin story, which, I mean, in retrospect, I mean, it's kind of like it will connect in several points to this series, because both of these series are, I mean, discussing history. So it will be kind of like another historical educational series. I hope you found it educational, while the Earth is literally barbecued. I mean, but I mean, yes, I mean, some people like to learn about history while the Earth is barbecued. So we shall give them, I mean, this kind of like scholarly entertainment.